Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the corner. Welcome to your latest Chelsea news. Quite a lot that's been popping off over the last 24 hours. 24 hours? Probably even last 12 hours. In fact, post our match against Manchester City. What a good point. I mean, at the end of the day, look, with the circumstances that we found ourselves in, with the absenteeism in the match, you have to say that it was a good point away from home and something that hopefully the players can build on, hopefully the fans can build on, and hopefully the upcoming imminent new manager can build on that as well. So look, there's a lot of hopefullys, there's a lot of hopium in this conversation, but that's what we have right now. We have a lot of hopium working for us. But look, quite a lot of things to get through. We've got news in regards to Liam Rosenior. His imminent Chelsea signature is just around the corner. Sometime today, we're fully expecting sometime today to have the official announcement. Obviously, prior to that, here we go from Fabrizio Romano and David Ornstein, I'm pretty sure. Excuse me. All of these people will be tweeting out their thoughts and feelings. But the word in the street is that Chelsea will most likely make a official announcement sometime today. So we've got news in regards to Liam Rosenior. We've got some news in relation to Callum McFarlane, the under-21s coach that took care of us against Manchester City. I mean, it's all over the internet. They're saying that this guy has, outplayed Pep Guardiola. One match in the Premier League with his experience from the under-21s and his backroom stuff, all in the under-21s. They've trumped Pep Guardiola, who's an immense manager in world football, greatest of all time, one of the greatest, to be honest, if not the greatest of all time. So we've got some information about Callum McFarlane and some bits and pieces in relation to Enzo Maresca and a nice, lovely clip of Reece James that I need to share with you guys. Also, on top of that, speculation, now that Ruben Amorim is sacked, if you haven't seen the latest news, he's sacked, is potentially, Enzo Maresca going to Man United? Is how all of this is lined up? We'll see. We'll see if it all transpires to be in that manner. Now, we'll kick things off from Liam Rosenior. That's where it all started. Just before the match against Manchester City. Breaking, Liam Rosenior arrives in London tonight ahead of Chelsea appointment. Interview to take place in the next 24 hours with Rosenior expected to become new Chelsea head coach next week, which is obviously starting from today. Strasbourg looking for best replacement as key step ahead of Rosenior signing for Chelsea. We'll get to who Strasbourg is looking for. But yeah, just before the match against Manchester City, there was a picture that was circulating around of Liam Rosenior, who was in the airport, I believe, from France, en route to London. So they, fans are everywhere. So someone obviously captured that picture, saw that the flight's going to London, and obviously we can put the two together. Look, the bottom line, this is not a surprise, is it? He was the only candidate in the list. There is no other candidate in the list. So no one's really surprised. It was always going to be Liam Rosenior's job. No one else. I don't know why he's going to have to go through an interview. What are you going to do? Like, it's a one-man interview and you already know the job's yours. So I'm not really sure what interview is this. I think this is more of a what is to be expected. How we want you to behave, Liam Rosenior, what you can expect at Chelsea Football Club with the hierarchy that is set up and the ownership that we have. I think it's going to be more of a briefing than really an interview. It's more like, these are the housekeeping rules. Do not try and outdo yourselves here. Keep to those rules and we can have a long-lasting relationship. I think that's what it's all about. Look, the bottom line is, ladies and gentlemen, I know we're all Blueco out. Ultimately, if we want change, we need Blueco to change their project philosophy. We need them to deviate away from all of these youth purchases. We need them to deviate away from this wage structure restriction. We need them to deviate away from basically having no dealings with anyone of experience. It's all about bringing everything youthful, from youthful players to youthful manager, youthful everything. So we need them to deviate away from all of this. If they don't, then you're going to have to be Blueco out. You're going to have to be the ownership out, because besides that, you're never going to see the change. Liam Rosenior is going to come here, and within the next 12 months, he's potentially going to be out as well. And who knows, he might even be out earlier than that. But as a fan, I wish him all the best. And I hope that he can change things at Chelsea Football Club. I hope that he can get the respect from the players. I hope he can get the respect from the fan base. And I wish him all the best. Sincerely, I wish him all the best, because I believed in the team. I still do believe in the team, but obviously the circumstances are different now. With all the shenanigans that the ownership was up to. Bottom line, I believe in the team, and I can only sit here and hope and believe that Liam Rosenior, off the back of, picking up a point against Manchester City away from home, very, very good point under the circumstances where Enzo Maresca he had parted ways with Chelsea Football Club. You can imagine where the mindset might have been for the players. So in all of that essence, it's a good point to pick up, and it's a point hopefully we can build on, the players can build on, the new manager can build on, and the fan base can build on. That's all I'm going to say. Obviously, the odds are against him. Obviously, the working environment is not conducive of producing anything excellent, but I wish him the best. I wish him the best, and I hope that he can defy the odds. That's all I have to say. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts. Liam Rosenior to Chelsea is very, very imminent. It's just around the corner now. There is a growing expectation Liam Rosenior will manage his new Chelsea side against Fulham on Wednesday. So, next match is against Wednesday. Next match is on Wednesday. It is against Fulham. We need to win. We have to. We must pick up the points, man. And look, I like the resilience from the players, and I'm hoping that some of the players that missed out the match against Manchester City, in the likes of Cucurella, the likes of Sanchez, Fofana, and obviously Caicedo's back from suspension, all of these players will inject more energy to the core set of players that we already had. And it was interesting to see in the second half, we started to deploy a certain style that is more in line with what Liam Rosenior has done at Strasbourg. So, look, I don't want to throw away this season as yet. I know it feels like it's in the bin. It feels like it's in the drain, but we must still make it to Champions League football. We really do. I mean, look at Man United. They've sacked Ruben Amorim, and they're going to get someone to drive for that Champions League position. So we have to pick up points against Fulham. We must pick up 3 points. So Fulham is the first game Liam Rosenior is going to be in charge of. And let's see what we can do. It'll be a nice start if he can pick up a victory to get things going. Wins will change the narrative. That's all I'm going to say, ladies and gentlemen. Wins will change the narrative. Gary O'Neill has held talks over becoming the new Strasbourg head coach, and a decision is expected later today. The role looks increasingly likely to be vacant as current head coach Liam Rosenior closes in on replacing Enzo Maresca at Chelsea. You already know who the next Chelsea manager is going to be. Bet your bottom dollar. Gary O'Neill will be the next Chelsea manager. Whoever goes to Strasbourg ends up at Chelsea. But look, Gary O'Neill, he did an okay job at Wolves. Obviously, eventually enough, he got sacked. But Wolves, they just run in an awful manner. He's actually a decent manager, Gary O'Neill. So let's see what he does at Strasbourg. If he can carry on the good work that Liam Rosenior was doing, let's see if Gary O'Neill can take it to another level. And as you are building up your managerial status, who knows? Next up, it could be Chelsea Football Club. Get your reputation built up under the Blueco system. Yeah, you best believe. Fast track to Chelsea. Now, check this out. Callum McFarlane. By the way, his post-match conversation, his post-match interview was bang on, man. It was absolutely bang on. We might have to cover that on a separate video. But this individual, under 21's coach, he's earns a lot of respect from everyone. Very, very good in terms of how we started against Manchester City. He even said it's not how we wanted to play in the first half. We were a little bit shocked by how Manchester City played, so they weren't prepared for that. But nonetheless, we were very resolute in defense. And in the second half, he said, "Yeah, we changed things up. We changed things up, and it gave us the merits of it. It gave us the fruits of it in the second half." So kudos to Callum McFarlane to be able to tactically change and outdo Pep Guardiola in the second half. Now, but check this out. This was, I believe, I think it still might have been post-match. This is a very, very interesting comment that I want to see what you guys have to say in the comment section. I can tell you that some of the players were shocked by the Enzo decision. Why are players shocked? I mean, I thought maybe it was a known knowledge that internally they could probably see that Enzo Maresca is struggling, but they were shocked, which further actually clouds me as to what happened. What happened between Enzo Maresca and the Chelsea hierarchy? Because Enzo Maresca would have known what Chelsea hierarchy is all about. Enzo Maresca would have seen the interference last season as well from the hierarchy if in footballing matters. My only thing that I can think of is Enzo Maresca, after winning the Club World Cup, started feeling that, okay, I have now improved my status. The Maresca you first hired and we agreed upon certain rules and regulation, well, that's not the same Maresca anymore. I'm a Conference League winner, I'm a Club World Cup winner, and I got you Champions League football for the first time under your regime. So I feel like Enzo Maresca went up to the hierarchy, which has been well documented. It's actually been briefed by the Chelsea journalist that he did ask for a better pay package and a much improved contract, which, of course, Chelsea Football Club declined. And I think that's where the fallout happened. Enzo Maresca did not feel respected, did not feel appreciated, that he created some sense of success, definite sense of success, and it wasn't reciprocated with the rewards that he desired. So hence him then going and getting a new agent in the likes of George Mendes, and then everything else kicked off from there on, every little bits and pieces, because all of the stuff that has come out now after Enzo Maresca has parted ways, the talks are that he was bothered by the interference. He didn't like being questioned. Well, I'm pretty sure you would have been interfered and been asked questions last season as well. This should not have been a new phenomenon. So I don't know. Look, with Ruben Amorim leaving and Enzo Maresca, who's parted ways a few days ago, it all seems to be a bit too convenient. What's going on? Amorim leaves, Maresca's now available. There was rumors that Enzo Maresca is not just looking at Manchester City, but maybe Manchester United as well. So interesting that the players were shocked. So the players had no idea that this was going on in the background, and almost seems like that they've been let down. So the character they've been shown in the last few days. So yeah, I can tell you that some of the players were shocked by the Enzo decision. So the character they have shown in the last few days. Reece is a big one. Reece, Tosin, Enzo, they have been really dragged. They have really dragged the team together. I can't speak highly enough of the group. So big up to the group. Interesting to see Tosin's name there, although I don't want Tosin to be part of this squad ever again. But interesting, Reece, Tosin, Enzo Fernandez, a proper leader. Enzo Fernandez probably had one of his best games of this season against Manchester City. He was defensively rock solid, and going forward, always provided a threat. So good to see that Reece James, Enzo Fernandez, they're part of the core leadership group, which is fantastic You want to keep adding more. The likes of Cucurella, Caicedo, they need to be part of the leadership group as well. Check this out. Enzo Maresca felt so angry of how he was being undermined by the hierarchy that he walked away from a potential compensation package worth around 14 million. Chelsea have accused him for emotional immaturity. See, this is you see the comment from Callum McFarlane. Players are players are shocked of Enzo Maresca's departure. Then you see comments like this that he let go of 14 million worth package, compensation package. Really? Which manager would let go of 14 million? Not unless you have a contingency plan. You don't just let go of money like that. 14 million pounds as well. This is why it makes me feel like I don't know whether Enzo Maresca has been tapped up by someone, whether he has a contingency plan. I don't know. It all seems a bit too hazy to me. It really does seem a bit too hazy. How, honestly, how could you let go of 14 million? Now, a lot of people say, Miss, that's how, that's how bullied he's been. That's how, how pathetic the working environment is that drives you out of Chelsea Football Club to the point that you give away 14 million in compensation wages. Really? What is the mental torture inside Chelsea ownership? Is it that much for you to let go of 14 million? I don't know, man. Look, I'm not trying to take sides with the ownership. The ownership is foul. The ownership is a disgrace. But I don't believe sitting here thinking Enzo Maresca leaving the way he left, it feels a bit strange. It feels a bit strange. The players are saying that they're shocked, and now we're hearing that he let go of 14 million. I don't buy it. I really don't buy it. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts. I feel like he definitely has a contingency plan set up in the background because no individual gives away 14 million in compensation play. Now, last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, check this out, man. I tweeted this out late yesterday after the match saying, Reece James, clapping hands, you are the perfect role model. Through these tumultuous times, Reece James has elevated his leadership legacy. And I said, during this time frame, how difficult it is, I need my captain to grab me, put me on his shoulder, and just take me with you. Be the leader that we need you to be. And honestly, Reece James had a magnificent game against Manchester City. And more importantly, this is the lovely gesture post-match. I mean, this is going to warm your hearts. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Right at the end, all the Chelsea players obviously congratulating and showing the appreciation to the away fans, the Chelsea traveling fans. And check what Reece James does here. Celebrating with not celebrating, but going up to the fans and appreciating the fans. And then Reece James goes back. Let's just bring that back a little bit. Reece James goes back. He notices Callum McFarlane, brings him over, and stands him right in front of the fans so that he is appreciated because Callum McFarlane was standing at the background. I love humble, how humble Callum McFarlane is, and he taps Reece James as well, thanking him that he's brought him over so that Callum McFarlane can be appreciated by the away fans. Fantastic gesture. Honestly, fantastic gesture. One more time, Reece James. Big up to you. Stupendous role model, a role model that the kids can look up to one day. So brilliant, brilliant gesture. Lovely to see him acknowledging Callum McFarlane's, efforts and his, you know, I suppose he's somewhat of a success in the Premier League, his first game. So big up to him, Reece James, to acknowledge that. So yeah, fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. That is the end of today's for this early morning segment of Chelsea news. Let me know your thoughts about everything we spoke about. Hope you've enjoyed this. Smash up the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Hype as well. Hype the video. helps with the algorithm. And hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Comment and let me know about everything we've spoken about. Until next time, everyone, take care. See ya. Bye.